Yo people, wagwan, welcome back to RonsTechHub, and today I have with me my brand new Nintendo Switch 2. Haven't even opened this brown box yet. Came straight from DPD. Let's go. Let me just cut this open. Cut the side here as well. That part. That part. Alright, here we have it, the Nintendo Switch. Now, I pre-ordered the Mario Kart bundle just because it just made sense. Mario Kart for Nintendo Switch is like GTA 5 for other consoles. You're never ever gonna get rid of that game. It's gonna be with you forever. So that's why I pre-ordered it. That's probably the only game I'm gonna have as a software game. I'm going to do a quick around the box first so people know what they're getting. I'm going to try and hide my code if there is a code I need to hide. This is the front of the box, and on the front of the box, quite obvious what's there. We have a TV, we have the Nintendo Switch, we have the dock in the background. We also have the Joy-Cons here, and this tiny thing here is how you click the Joy-Cons together to make it like a proper controller. So it's not attached to the Nintendo Switch itself. Mario Kart icon down here. I'm going to go to the left-hand side. On the left hand side, so it tells us that we have 10 things inside the box, and I'll go through the 10 things quite quickly. First one is a Nintendo Switch itself. We have one console. Number two, we have the Joy-Con. We have the left side, it says L right there. Number three, we have the right Joy-Con. Number four, we have the Nintendo Switch AC adapter. That's just a UK power plug. Number five, we have the USB charging cable. Number six, we have the the Nintendo dock. We have the Joy-Con grip. So again, that thing in the middle that allows you to set up the Joy-Cons as a standalone controller. We have number 8, which is the Joy-Con strap, so you can hold it on, strap it onto your hand so that it doesn't fall off. Number 9, ultra high-speed HDMI, debatable, but it's probably an HDMI 2.1, so it gives you up to 120 Hertz. Mario Kart World, that's the download code again. As I mentioned, this is a software version of Mario Kart, probably the only software thing I'm going to have on this. Everything else is going to be a game card. On the right-hand side, it has, attention, it has a Nintendo Switch 2 with the dock up, and it has both Joy-Cons being used by 2 different people, so it kind of shows you that even though you have the Joy-Cons and you can attach it and use it directly with the Nintendo Switch, you can also use it individually to play games. And I think this is how I played the Nintendo Switch 1 the very first time with my friend. And at the back, we just have the Switch. We have the Joy-Cons attached. We have the dock. I'm interested to see how good this dock is. I know that there's cooling built into it, so that's a really, really good thing. For something that's, I would say, this powerful, we need some cooling. And at the very bottom, nothing special, just the typical writing that we get with Nintendo Switches or any electronic device that we buy. To open this, I'm going to pull this one down. And again, mine was already open. The tape that's holding this part to this part, I'm going to open that, and I'm going to pull this box out like so. There we go. So yes, there's a box inside of a box. It seems to me that everything that's on the outside box, which is the one that this box came in, is on this box as well. So they just double printed everything. I'm guessing this was kind of to protect this. Now, I'm someone that keeps my boxes for every single console and laptop I have, so that when I do come to sell it later on, it's worth more. It might not be worth a lot more, but people tend to really like buying stuff when you have a box with it. I'm gonna twist it over. There we go. That's the front, obviously. So this is how I should have done it. At the very top, I have my Nintendo Switch 2. Looks quite big, actually. This looks noticeably larger than my Nintendo Switch 1 to me. Here we have the Joy-Cons. We have blue and orangey pinky. I'm going to take the Switch out first. So there is a finger lip at the side. You just put your hand there, lift it up. I'm going to put that to one side first and check out everything that's in the box first. These are my Joy-Cons. I'm going to put them on the side here. Okay, that's my Mario Kart code there. So I'm going to take this out quickly. Under that, important information, which we're definitely never ever going to read. No one reads these. I think at this point everyone knows how to set a console up. Put that to one side. We have an HDMI cable here. Looks quite thick, looks quite decent. It says ultra certified cable. It's probably just a good HDMI cable, and they've done all the checks for resistance and all of that, so it's a decent cable. We have the straps under here. You can attach these straps to the Joy-Con. So what happens when you're playing something, you can strap the Joy-Cons to this so it won't fall out of your hand. And I do have to say, the Joy-Cons feel noticeably heavier to me again than the previous Joy-Cons. It's not too heavy, to be fair, but it's definitely bigger. I can feel that it's bigger straight away, and it's heavier as well. I'm going to leave the straps in at the moment. I don't need them right now, so I'm going to close this back, pushing it down. I'm going to lift this entire thing out to see what's underneath. Underneath, we have what's in this first one. This is the Joy-Con controller thing. So you can snap them onto this to turn it into a standalone controller that you don't need to have the Switch in your hand. So when you're plugging this into a TV, if you don't have the Switch Pro controller, for example, this is going to be really, really handy. I do have another controller, which is the SN30 Pro. I really, really like this controller. Now, I might get the Pro controller at some point, but this is going to be my go-to for now. Next, we have the USB cable. So it's a USB-C to USB-C, which means that you can probably use this to charge your phone as well. I do have the power adapter completely separate, unlike the last time where it was attached to it. This is quite a hefty brick. This ranges from 15 to 60 watts, which is quite decent actually. This should be more than enough to power the Switch. And finally, down here, I think this is where we have the dock. This is what the dock looks like. It's very lightweight. You see loads of vents down here, so I'm guessing it pulls in air from somewhere down here. And to open the back, you simply pull this part here and it just comes off like so. We have our HDMI port, USB-C, and an Ethernet port. Very, very useful. I think I'm going to use mine on Ethernet. I always prefer wired. Last but surely not least, we have the Nintendo Switch itself. There's some dust in here. Oh no, it's not dust, it's just a crease. And here we go, Nintendo Switch 2. That looks like a decently sized tablet to me. At the bottom we have a USB-C port. We have what looks like either intake vents or speakers, but most likely vents. At the top we have another USB-C port. We have more vents. We have the power button, volume down, volume up. That looks like an LED there. And this is where we put the cartridges. So I only have one single game on Nintendo Switch 1, so I'm going to try that later on as well. And finally, headphone jack, and I'm guessing that's a microphone there. At the back, Nintendo Switch 2 sign and the kickstand. To get the kickstand up, you can use your finger to simply pry under there and push up like that. And that's how it's done. Last but surely not least, we have the Nintendo Switch 2 itself. At the very bottom, we have a USB-C port. We have two vents left and right. I'm guessing those are intake vents. We also have a tiny lip here that we can use to actually pull the stand out. So I'm going to pull that out now. We have two rubber feet here. No rubber feet on this thing here. But there shouldn't be much sliding because there are two rubber feet here. And just to the left of the USB port here, as you can see, that's the micro USB port. So just there, close that back. On the left-hand side, we only have the connections for the controller. Right-hand side, exactly the same thing, connection for the controller. At the very top, we have, going from the left, we have power button, volume down, volume up. That looks like an LED indicator. We have three vents here. We have a USB-C, we have a headphone jack. This is the cartridge port, and that looks like a microphone there. That's a Nintendo Switch 2. All right, it's now time to set the Switch up. So I'm going to grab Joy-Con blue one, which goes on the left. There's no sliding down this time. It's simply hold it close to it and it snaps on. Joy-Con for the right, exactly the same thing. Hold it close enough to it. Just gonna hold it close. See, I'm not even holding it with my top finger. Just gonna make it hover and it will just snap in, and that's it. It feels pretty sturdy, but I can see this dropping on the edge and this thing getting badly damaged. We have these two tiny buttons here behind the triggers that you have to push and then pull them off, and it puts that thing out. Hopefully you can see that blue thing coming in and out. So it'll do the same thing for this side, push, and it just pushes it off the Switch, and that's the orange pinky thing pushing out. Snap it back in. To put the Switch inside the dock, obviously you have the Nintendo Switch logo facing you. This will only fit the bottom of the console, so you simply put it in, and luckily for us, it does line up quite nicely. There is a bit of give, so once you push it down, you don't actually have to force the console down. It just sits on top of the USB-C cable. But this, I don't like this. This gives me anxiety. I don't know why. Mine's not going to be moving too much, but I don't like this much movement, this much give. I think the dock needed to be a bit closer to the screen and maybe have a padded area on this side of the dock. So not the hard side here, but the inside should have a padded area against the screen. You pull this back out. When it sits on the table, it's not flat on the table because obviously the triggers are here at the top. So if I now look at the Joy-Cons, on the left hand side we have the blue Joy-Con being raised versus the lower one. So this is kind of like the Xbox style controller system. We have arrow keys on the left hand side. We have a button here, a minus button here, a plus button on the right hand side. We have the home button down here, the C button here, X, Y, A, B. I don't like the way this is done because I'm so used to my Xbox One, but hey, it is what it is. And we have one tiny button down here, which I don't remember exactly what this does, but I'll figure it out once I start the system up. So far, fingerprint magnet. Now, luckily for me, I won't be using this as a portable device most of the time. It will be sitting in the dock, just being like a TV console. To turn it on, I'm going to hold the power button on the left-hand side here, hold it down, and there we go, Nintendo logo coming up. All right, first things first, let's choose my language as, for me, it's going to be UK English. I am in Europe at the moment. I don't want to read anything. Internet settings, so you're going to have to connect to your Wi-Fi the very first time. I've got so many. I'm going to use this one first because I'm in the basement. Touchscreen does work, by the way, so you can type everything using the touchscreen instead of using the control pad. Password in, connecting to the internet, good to go. System update, this is the very first system update, so you have to install this once you've connected to the internet. I'm going to click next. I'm going to choose London. That's fine. It's downloading data in the background actually, which is really good, so I don't have to stop what I'm doing with the setup. It will simply wait. Basic instructions, play styles. You can use your Nintendo Switch 2 console in a variety of play styles to suit when, where, and how you like to play. For me, again, it's going to be that last one. I'm barely going to be using this in mobile mode, so I'm going to click next. Yep, we've already looked at the dock. That's fine. USB charger goes there at the top. Done. We've already seen how to release the controllers, so that's fine. Again, it is slightly animated as well, which is quite good. Oh, it's asking me to actually detach Joy-Con 2. Okay, so I'm going to press and hold again that button at the back, which is that one there behind the trigger. Joy-Con 2 as well. I'm going to connect to the TV later. I'm going to snap this back on. I'm going to skip this. Yep, skip that. Ready to start system update. Update complete. Okay, begin system transfer. I've already sold my Nintendo Switch 1, so I don't have anything to transfer. I think I did back my stuff up to the cloud, so I'm going to try to restore that later on. I'm going to go to don't transfer. Time to add a user. Sign into Nintendo account. I'm going to use... I don't need to view details. I'm going to go to OK. I don't need to add another user. I'm going to go to skip. Set parental controls. Nope, skipping that. I don't have a card, so I'm going to skip that. But if you did have a card, if you do have a memory card, that slot is going to be right there. I'm going to go to skip. Setup complete. Press the home button. So on the controller, which I've detached, that's the home button right there. No games installed at the moment, but that's it. That's how you set up your Nintendo Switch 2. Now, after setting up, one of the first things I want to check is how much storage is on this device. So I'm going to use my controllers to go over to settings icon there. Click on that. Probably going to be under data management, and there we go. 232 gigabytes usable. This might drop after a few system updates, but at the moment 230 gigabytes, quite decent. I think the one thing I wish they did do is, rather than using micro SD, they should have allowed you to use a 2230 SSD. I haven't benchmarked the speeds of a micro SD express card, but I think SSDs are going to be faster anyway. Don't quote me on that. I will double check. Finally, I'm going to show you how to set up your Nintendo Switch to the dock. That's the dock there. That's the Nintendo Switch behind it. So the dock needs to be facing you with the writing Nintendo Switch 2 facing you. And again, I'm going to lock the screen for now. I'm going to simply press the power button once till the screen goes off. Bring this up, put this down inside the dock. Line it up, and again, you don't have to push down. It simply slots into place, so you don't have to wiggle it around and push down, and that's it. Again, I still don't like this movement here. If I turn it to the side and I show you guys, there's quite a bit of movement there. I don't think the movement is going to be detrimental to the console itself, but it just doesn't look very premium. I'm going to pull the back off. So again, I'm just going to hold this part here. There's a tiny groove here. Put my finger in that groove and simply pull. The back will come off, and that's it. And again, at the back, we have USB-C, HDMI, Ethernet. I'm going to use the HDMI cable that came with it just because it's probably better than the ones I have. The flat side of the HDMI cable, so that's the flat side. There's a side here with a tiny groove. The flat side goes against the back of the case. So that's the flat side on this end going in. That's it. It slots in nicely. USB cable. And again, this is USB-C to USB-C. Quite handy because finally, plug that into the wall, obviously. Plug the HDMI cable into your TV and you're good to go. You can stick to Wi-Fi, but I'm going to be using Ethernet. To put the cartridge in, you need to open the flap on the right hand side when looking at the screen. There's a tiny fingernail edge back there that you can put your fingernail in. You're going to lift up, you're going to pull. The cartridge writing must be facing you as well. And you simply put that there, push it down. And there's going to be one notch it goes down by. Simply push it down again. Once you hear the click, you're good to go. Because I'm going to be using my Switch dock to the TV at all times, this is going to be very useful for me. So to connect it, it's more or less the same as connecting the Joy-Cons to the Switch. Simply pull it close and they snap in place. There you go. And there you go, done. So now you have a somewhat decent controller to use. I predict that Mario Kart World is going to be one of the biggest couch co-op games in the world very, very soon. So I needed 2 controllers. Finally, I've got my Switch plugged into the TV. As soon as I plugged it in, this is what came up. The TV you're using is compatible with HDR. You can configure the display to play with improved visuals. I'm going to do configure.